Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of the Ratliff Mandolins weekly production diary. This week is sort of a big week for us because this is the first full week that we've been able to spend on the new batch of mandolins that we're building. And if you've been with us for last week's episode, we were gluing tone bars in 7 or 8 tops. And we started Monday with those tops, the last of those tops being in the prop bar deck, getting the tone bars glued on. And so it's time to take them out and clean them up. Let me run some footage of that for you. Here's a shot of those last 4 tops having their tone bars glued on. I actually did 7 or 8 of them, but which is more than we need, but they'll be there if we need them or when we need them for the next batch. Then we start to assemble all of the stuff that I need to straighten those tone bars up and clean them up and tap tune them and make sure they're nice and clean and pretty. I have a little holder plate there for the top to rest in, and some sandpaper and some scrapers and some sanding backers that are shaped different ways that I wrap the sandpaper around and use that to keep a certain shape or a certain sweep in the wood, and sand things till they're clean and shaped the way I want them to be, all pretty and everything. We'll just run this footage here and you can watch that process. And I have some special shaped sanding backers. One of them is a little half round thing about 3/8 of an inch or something, or 1/4 of an inch. Actually, I've got 2 of them with 2 different radiuses. And you can see this one here is the one that's about 3/8 of an inch. And you wrap the sandpaper around it, and then that will smooth off the top of that tone bar. And here's a shot of the finished product with the ends all tapered out to nothing, and the one on the left is undone and the one on the right is finished and all tapered down to the airy thickness that it needs to be. Now that the tops are ready, the tone bars are all cleaned up and everything is ready to be glued onto a set of mandolin sides, we got to make mandolin sides. First thing that we do is make sure the sides are nice and sanded and clean and all like that. And as you can see, this is some really pretty curly maple. I have been in contact with a builder up in Canada, and I've seen some pictures of his work, wonderful work. His name is Fenton McEnroe, and I hope he doesn't mind me mentioning him, but we were talking about bending sides one day, and I said, you know what, I'll just show you my side benders and stuff on the video when I get a chance. And this is exactly what you're looking at. This one is the side that goes on the treble side, the little double S curve there. And then I have 3 different irons for F-styles. The big 28-inch piece, this is the one in the middle, and then the piece, the S-curve that goes around the neck. And we'll see each and every one of those here before it's all said and done. I just hang them on the wall to let them cool, and once those big chunks of aluminum get hot, it takes a long time for them to cool down. Here's a picture of the bigger 28-inch piece, the piece that goes around the scroll all the way around the body to the first bottom body point. I'll let this footage play so that you can watch the whole process. I used to break a whole lot of sides doing this bend around the scroll, but very few now that I have this. I've built this whole jig and rig and outfit and everything. Not too many of them get broke anymore. You just have to go pretty slow, and the sheet aluminum there that I don't know if you can see it, but the sheet aluminum sort of helps keep the breaking process down. Just go slow. Pull that thing around there, and boy, you're done. And that big piece, believe it or not, which is so easy to get funny kinks in when you're bending by hand, this way right here, they just come out smooth and slick and round. Thrilled to bits with this whole setup. And here is that double S curve that goes around from the inside of the scroll around the neck to the first body point, and this is the one where the neck joint will be and all of that. It's the smallest one and sort of a very unusual bend, almost like a backwards S. Here's another one that's got two tight bends, and you just have to really take your time and go slow. You have no idea how hot those irons are right now, and those gloves are absolutely necessary. After the bending is done and they've had time to cool, usually the next day, it's time to take those sides out of the molds, the bending molds, and kind of have to make a distinction there. There's bending molds, and then there's the gluing molds where you glue the blocks in and stuff. So we're going to take all of the sides out of the bending molds and then put them into the gluing molds. Right there's a shot of me sawing out the body block for the first point on the mandolin, the one that usually lays right under the pick guard, and then you cut all your bent sides to shape, get them to fit in the molds, glue the blocks in, and there's a shot of us gluing that very first block in. And by the end of the week, Friday comes along, and I have enough sides bent for one hole glue up, and there's my first complete glue up on Friday. So the process for the next 6 or 7 days here at the shop will be to, first thing in the morning, bend a new set of sides, put them in the bending molds, take the wood that's in those bending molds out, and wrap them up in the gluing molds, and glue as much as you possibly can. You can't always glue all of the blocks one day. Lots of times you just have to glue what you can, and then come back and reposition everything and glue the last little bit. So it's usually a 2-day gluing process, and then once those all those blocks are glued in, it's time to kind of level the top and the bottom and put the kerfing in and glue those tops on, which we'll get to all of that stuff next week. And so I hope you come back and check out that process next week. Also, I'd like to mention that I got a nice little package in the mail this week from a fellow that's been here before. Him and his wife have been here before. He sent me some gouges and a couple of chisels, a matching set, and he sent me a little letter saying that he bought some of these at an auction and there were some duplicates and he thought I might like them. And you know what? I love them. I certainly appreciate anything like that, because I have this. I can't turn a gouge down. If I see a gouge at a yard sale or something, I have to buy it. So they seem to be such cool tools, and I have almost a collection of them. Not really, probably 12 or 15, but I'm always thrilled to get my hands on gouges. So special thanks to Dave in Illinois for his most welcome gift. Thank you so very much. And thank you guys for staying with us through the whole video. And hopefully we'll see you next week. Hit the like and subscribe button if you don't mind. And for heaven's sakes, leave me a comment. I certainly appreciate comments more than you have any idea. So we'll look for you next week on the next episode of the Ratliff Mandolins Weekly Production Diary. And I look forward to seeing you then.